What's up, viewers? Welcome to the TeleHmong podcast. Today we have Yeng Moua here with us from Wild and Eats. So you guys give him a warm welcome. Thanks for coming on, Yeng.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, fellas. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to see you again, man. It's been so long.
Yeah.
How's it?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
When did you start Wild and Eats, huh?
Man, I've been hunting and fishing ever since I was a child, but really filming and getting into social media probably around 2019, 2020.
Okay.
You just recently started, huh?
Pretty recent, yeah, pretty recent.
It's been going pretty good for you, I see.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have pretty good engagement. I just have been busy deleting a lot of just fake accounts.
Oh.
So I've been busy doing that every
Yeah.
day too.
Fake accounts?
Yeah,
Like-
there's a lot of fake accounts.
Like the haters?
try to follow you. They just try to follow you and like try to pin like and steal your pictures and your files. And, stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
And they've done that to like even Zhonglu today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
today.
heard about
yeah,
that.
I heard
Yeah.
about that, yeah.
Yeah. So they'll do anything to have a little bit of fame and take money from others.
Damn. So what did you experience with that? Like, what did they take?
Well, they didn't take anything from me. I'm just trying to be diligent, you know. Like
Okay.
Two-factor authentication, trying to make sure that I have the meta stamp.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
okay.
that's all important for everybody who's trying to grow into their social media influencer world.
I see. So what was the one thing that you can say that they try to take away from your footages and your content?
Yeah, they'll just because I'm in real estate right now too.
Okay.
I particularly look into lots and land and homesteading. That they'll take my business number and they'll share it, or they'll take my profile picture
Yeah.
and they'll put a different number in there and say, if you have any questions, give me a call.
No way.
I'll never ask, because the lenders do this.
Yeah.
I'll never ask for personal information.
Yep.
Unless you meet with me personally, but lenders will ask very specific questions about your personal credit score, your checking, and things like that. So they'll just have a fake a number and call me if you have any questions, and somebody else will pick up. So I don't want that to ever happen. I want to prevent that. And so you just stay diligent and on top of things when you're trying to grow, especially
Yeah.
TeleHmong podcast, which is
Right.
Again, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be
Oh,
here.
thank you for coming.
You guys are growing. I've watched you guys since the beginning of February. You guys started before that too.
Yeah.
But that's when you guys had a mediocre audio. Now it's above par.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think it hasn't even been a year that we
Yeah.
we started.
Yeah.
Right?
It's only like
Has it
couple
been a
months.
No, it's been 4 or 5 months now.
It's not that
Yeah.
long.
Okay.
Yeah, but
that
we
long.
have like an open mic conversations and no filter.
Yeah.
I think people like that more because we don't really give a shit what people think, So, and plus we also we're not trying to impress nobody.
Yeah.
Because when you try to impress people, some other people get butthurt, and then we're just like, we're gonna do our.
You can't fulfill everybody.
Let's talk about what you're here for though. Let's talk about hunting and fishing. Like
We're here for everything.
but like let's talk about hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
Like
But yeah.
what do you like more, and how did you start getting into hunting and fishing?
Yeah. So to una jeku you get the whole Washington State. So Tri-Cities, Washington. Grew up in Boise, Idaho. So we didn't start speaking Hmong until I got here to Minnesota when I was about 16.
Is that why you have the accent and you have the cowboy hat?
No, it's just I just like
The style.
the style, I guess, but it's not an everyday thing.
Okay.
But I out west we did a lot of elk hunting. So and it's really good tasting meat too, but it's different. It's a different type of hunting. So you're doing you're glassing from the other mountain ridge to another mountain ridge, and over here it's more flat. You don't have too many different types of geography here. So when I was 9, 10, 11, my dad took me out. We did mule deer hunting, elk hunting, did dove hunting.
No bear hunting yet.
No bear. No, there weren't. We didn't do a lot of bear because
Oh.
and we didn't really get into Tondai.
Yeah, I hear that todaya, it takes a lot of work too, right? Because you got to like get the honey hole ready, everything. You got to stick it on the tree.
Which honey hole? You
Like
talking
in any like any kind of tree area that you know that they'll come by,
about? Oh yeah.
and then you gotta make them like get used to that.
Yeah, you bait the station.
Yeah.
You bait the station, and I'm not used to baiting. I just go out on public land usually. 99% of my hunts are on public land, so I look at the map. I'm like, okay, this looks like a good area for a certain type of animal because different jia lu ha jia ke nya do lu ha kachana. You know, like deer, southeast Minnesota. That's what I like. Up north, but if you go for pheasant, you gotta get flat fields and rolling hills and
Oh,
grasslands.
interesting.
And then for duck, you know, you want swamp and water because you can't get ducks without water.
For bear, you know, like do you have to have set up like cameras and stuff like that for a day before that?
Cameras?
Yeah. Like, you know how when you go hunting for deers, right? Where you go scout lands, you know, and you put cameras just a few days, and then you go check if there's any deers that in the area. Do you guys do the same thing as like bear too?
Well, I don't use cameras very much.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I just try to stay minimal with the technology that I use.
Okay.
There have been, I mean, in the past I did use more cameras. Now I like just to watch wildlife and not to try to scope to see if the trophy, because I don't do trophy hunting either. But if like the big mature buck is going to come through, you can see it. People have what's called cell cams now, and cell cams they have live video feeds of like the animal that comes through.
Oh, yeah.
I don't use that, but they can see the animal come live, and so they're like, okay, at this time, at this day, moon phase or whatever their hunting technique is, that they'll understand. But what I do is, even for bear, even for anything else, the most important thing is to scout.
Yep.
And to scout, you and then you're like, okay, and then you'll start hunting then. That's when the process actually starts. If you go the day before, you're hoping on luck, and that's great. But usually, if you want to hunt better, you'll want to scout. And there's different ways of scouting too.
Different techniques. Huh?
Wow.
Yeah, different techniques.
So Yang, did your dad teach you all this, or did you just look on YouTube, or?
Yeah. Well, my dad and my uncles, we would ask questions, but my dad was the one that was helping me out along the way in learning.
Yeah.
But I think he had sort of a ceiling of hunting in America. So over there is like no holds barred, anything goes, right?
Yep.
You can hunt at night.
No limits.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly, right? I think that's where the term of "tunong ta" comes from. There's no limits.
Definitely.
Hmong people, man.
It's-
Yeah,
it-
that's just kidding.
It even applies
kidding.
to like fishing too, right?
Well, I think we're becoming better at it because the rules and regulations are coming more into play, and we understand that more. But I think poaching comes in all sorts of shades and colors. There's
Right.
Ga people,
Yeah.
May, Karen, Hmong.
But what you're saying is that
out.
like we release more now.
We don't keep as many.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't keep as many.
yeah.
We understand the. We don't.
They catch
we
and release
understand.
them. Oh.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
people who particularly hunt and fish for trophies,
Mm-hmm.
and until then, they probably will let deer go. Like for the amateur person, they're like, "Ooh, man, there's a deer coming. I'm probably gonna take it because it's my chance." But for somebody who's hunting for trophies, like a large 8-point,
Oh, so they'll just be waiting for that.
They'll be waiting for that.
Oh.
And so, you don't want to go a mile deep into public land, down 3 ravines, crossing a lake or a river and a creek, and then
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not worth it.
Have you ever had that happen though, where got to a chia de day and then you got to go and retrieve it?
Yeah.
And how did you do it? Did you just full on kaki or or did you have to tell us how you did that?
So in 2019, there's a video on YouTube that I filmed. It was a self-film.
Okay.
And all my films are generally all self-film anyway. But I went about a mile deep into this, into the bluff country of southeast Minnesota, and that's where I saw an 8-point buck. I shot. It was a compound bow. So I drew back, held for about a minute because it was looking at me. And it was about 35 yards away that I thought. And I shot at it. I hit it far forward. It ran. And then instead of running up the hill where my car was going towards, it rolled down in the ravine. Oh. So I couldn't find it that night. I was like, okay, I don't want to push it if it's still alive.
Right.
So you ping pong, and then you can't. There's less blood. You can't find it. You can't track it. So bong hokaha taki shenza gu claude gu zinza ke bemang and we found it down in the valley. And at that time, I didn't know that we could what's called quartering or bone the animal out.
Yep.
Where you could just take the meat, leave the bones or whatever you don't want, and take it with you. Instead,
We could do that.
yeah, we can. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
so it'll save you energy.
Yeah.
But I had my pack with me, my frame pack, and that's what you use to pack out like all your tools and
Okay.
your weapons and stuff. I had the leg, and that was already about 60 pounds or 50 to 60 pounds on top of my gear. You know, so
Holy
I had to
cow.
take that, and then my uncle had to take his portion, and then my other uncle took his portion, and we did 2 trips,
Okay.
a mile back and then come back. And
Yeah.
go back. So
So cha-cha fishing, yeah.
yeah, I would say like
Cha-cha.
generally
I seen others use sled, like
Sleds?
Yes,
Yeah,
you know,
where they put it on.
You put it on it, you just
yeah, you ain't
you shot her.
but you got your throw uphill,
yeah.
because what's
That's
gonna happen
true.
if you lose
Yeah,
the
you
rope?
Yeah.
Roll straight down.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those stories are hilarious, though. I've actually heard some of them.
Yeah.
Where like, yeah, and then but then you plot there, and they had to do it all over. Yeah.
Have you experienced any like almost like a certain accident where have you experienced anything like that yet?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I know that there's a lot of like
Yeah.
stuff that happens like that out in the woods.
Yeah, I haven't experienced anything like that. I think I do a very thorough scan of my environment. Practice.
Shy before you shoot.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. That's
But
that's
the thing
health
is
and
that,
safety.
so you shy
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Caliber, Yang?
I haven't seen the movie Caliber.
Holy cow, that's kind of what happened in there.
Oh, really?
And
What is that? Caliber?
it's 2 friends, they never been to, and they were going to go deer hunting. And they went, and there was a deer. And so one of them forgot to bring his gun, so they took a 22. They took a 22 to go shoot the deer. But then right when they shot the deer moved his head up, and there was a kid behind, and they shot the kid and killed him.
Really?
I just totally totally ruined it for you guys.
No, it's
But
okay.
it's
Well-
really, really good. It's really good, and
I'll
that's
check it out.
it was just so intense. Like you could
Really?
feel it. Yeah, it was such a good movie, but
I gotta check it out.
it was really good. And then I'm not gonna tell you no more, but I'm not gonna tell you what happened at the
Spoiler
end.
alerts.
I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but it was really good. And then like close calls like that. I've never really thought about that, but holy cow.
Could be dangerous too.
Yeah.
Could be a
Well,
dangerous
yeah.
sport.
So nothing like that before?
No, nothing like that. Has
Why
ever
we can
happened
share it
before.
though? Yeah.
Because it's a podcast. We just talk whatever. Because like like just Hmong superstition stuff. Has anything like that weird like that happened?
Not for me. I've never seen or experienced any supernatural events either, though.
Okay.
What,
But
do
I've
you-
heard
what
people
is
know
a
activity.
what is a supernatural event?
I mean, supernatural. Paranormal
Yeah.
So it doesn't phase you like you don't think about those kind of things when you go
I
hunting or
don't.
fishing.
I don't. กู接多薄，我都是只猜到一点กู傻薄。
Like I mean yeah, it's true. But back on Hmong culture,
Yeah.
别靠 religion 来就恐变正啊
Yeah.
versus you a person that love hunting and fishing
Yeah.
when you go out like that do you think about those kind of things or does it pass your head good
No,
or you
no.
just like you just don't really care
I actually I go by myself 3 to 4 to 5 days on end. Just solo camping.
yeah
And
And I've never seen or heard of any like spirits or anything.
yeah
佢估應砌來整動輯來就應該拎皮嘛。
yeah I had a buddy that he fish and hunt too and he was like เขา打的เขา的個逼進出拎I understand because he 就冇拎皮啊個係啫
Yeah, I would say that I wouldn't be phased by spirits or anything,
right
but
because they can't do nothing to you
yeah, and you know
right.
what's weird is that good thing that you brought that up because there was just that trial in Michigan. I don't know if you heard about that.
Is that just recently?
Yeah.
what
yeah.
is that
These two, one hunter was just found guilty of second-degree murder of the killing of Zhong Moya.
yeah.
And
Hmong crime
yeah,
or
no, it was a Hmong hunter that went to this public land near his house, and he didn't come home one night, and his family went looking for him the next day. They found him shot in the head. His backpack was gone. His gun was gone. And so years like this was in 2018, I believe, and just this February they found one killer, the murderer of the incident. I mean, yeah, bad people are out there. I don't know what their intentions
can you say like is it Mika or like
你應有未㗎嘛？
You guys
Man,
didn't see
that's
it?
how come I never heard of this case man
Dude, it was a big
Really?
case.
Yeah.
It was a really big
Yeah,
case.
it's
Yeah,
a
because
big case.
they didn't know
You never
who
told
killed
me.
him. No, it was all over the news though.
I didn't even know that
Yeah.
that's not the
It's
first
like,
case either
You know, this
that
goes
involve
back to
things
the
like that
Chai Ving story,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
This is more like the Chai Ving story.
Uh-huh.
Where they, you go in public or private land and they,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
that one was national, like
Yeah,
super-
that one was
Yeah.
big.
yeah,
but this one it was public area though
it is. Yeah.
so is it a hate crime
Well, there was racial epithets that were used in the text messages that that were found.
Damn, I
like-
need to look into that man
and yeah,
Never
and
heard that
also
one.
like cold-blooded killers coming back to the crime scene.
Ever watched the 411 stuff ever? Where the people go missing in the woods and then they find the person like 7 miles away, either alive or dead.
Is this on cable? Because I don't have.
No. It was on I think it was on Netflix and then I think it's on YouTube too.
Oh,
Yeah, you
really?
could just watch it for free. Very interesting stuff.
I haven't. I'll remember to take a look at that.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Is it search and rescue, emergency preparedness stuff, or what?
No, it's actually not. It's like just like random missing people
Yeah.
where they go to the woods and all of a sudden you turn around and they're gone.
Sure.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Interesting.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the Hmong man that matua by Jamaicana.
Yeah.
I saw that they arrested 2 people, but then there was only one that actually went to prison, right?
Yeah.
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 Do you know?
Well, they both were held for a long, like a significant amount of time.
Uh-huh.
Because of the extenuating evidence that was in both of their text messages to each other. Like, okay, if you think that that's such a funny joke, they say that it's a right to have, whatever they can express, right?
Yeah.
But I think those sorts of phrases and texts to each other have consequences to them. And the consequence to them was that now people think that maybe they did some real bad.
Oh.
And maybe they're a part of that murder. So that's why they're held that long. So I think it was Thomas Olson and Robert Rodway.
Okay.
They might just get away with it
Well, one of them was held. One of them was let go because I guess they obviously have GPS tracking systems on their phone on that day during that time.
okay.
So the defense has to fight for that person.
Wow. That's such an interesting case because I wonder if they're gonna do a documentary and try to
Never heard of
share it.
They should. They should because Orange Justice is the family that is opening up this I don't know if it's an organization, but their group that is keeping people informed about the case, and they have live updates about the
Okay.
church hearings and the court hearings and all that, and look into it. I think
Yeah.
I think there'll be a documentary, but one thing I know for sure is that it's got to come from a place of home or roots where I think somebody that is Hmong has to come from a background to help in this documentary, because like a lot of the Chai Vang documentaries,
They leave out a lot of truths.
yeah, at least
They leave out a lot of
truths,
things.
a lot of the prejudice.
Yeah.
Which documentary did you guys see though? There was a few.
Yeah.
With the Chai Vang.
Well, with the Chai Vang incident, it's like in that documentary, it was like a Japanese dude that was like, or some.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
Chinese
lost his job or something.
Yeah, yeah,
There was a short film about that situation where like they made it into a different character where his conflict was he was having like life conflict, like he lost his job or something.
Oh, I didn't see
And
that.
then he went enraged and then he killed the white people because they say something that tick him off because of him losing his job.
Yeah.
But that's something that they added into it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then something that's not talked about a lot
Yeah.
is the racial part, the racial aspect
Yes.
of things.
Yeah.
And could the court hearings and the whole entire proceedings been held in a different county? I think it should have been.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Because the prejudice and
Yeah.
and what was thrown and what Chai was telling the people was like, dude, like you're being totally racist. You're yelling these racial epithets at me, and I mean it was so quick to judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot the people, but was it in defense? And that's in contention because it's coming from both those sides, and they're saying one thing, the other person is saying the other.
Yeah. So why don't we take a break? And then because we have to reset the cameras. Yeah. So we're gonna take a break and then reset the cameras. We'll come back. We'll continue with that conversation because that's a really interesting topic.
Section we're probably gonna answer some questions in the.
Oh, some
Yeah.
people's got questions. Okay.
We'll wait for that
Yeah.
in the next sections.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.